I am 98 years old. When people hear that, they usually ask me one question. What is the secret to a long life? They expect me to talk about healthy food, exercise, or good habits. And yes, those things matter, but if I could pass only one lesson to the next generation, it would not be about living longer. It would be about learning how to stay strong when life becomes difficult. Because life will test you, it will challenge your patience, it will break some of your plans, it will disappoint you, and sometimes it will leave you wondering whether you have the strength to continue. The truth is that nobody escapes hardship, not the rich, not the successful, not the people who seem happy all the time. Every person carries struggles that others cannot see. When I was young, I believed successful people had easier lives. I thought they were lucky. I thought things simply worked out for them. But after nearly a century of living, I realized something important. Success is not built during easy times, it is built during difficult times. The strongest people I have ever known were not people who avoided problems. They were people who faced problems and kept moving forward anyway. I learned this lesson the hard way, in my 20s. I had a dream I had spent years chasing. I worked hard. I sacrificed time. I made plans for the future. Then suddenly, everything fell apart. The opportunity disappeared. The dream was gone. I remember sitting alone, wondering what I had done wrong. I felt defeated. I felt embarrassed. I felt as though my future had been stolen from me. For months, I carried that disappointment everywhere I went. But time has a way of teaching lessons that pain cannot explain. Years later, I looked back and realized that failure had changed me for the better. It taught me patience. It taught me humility. It taught me that starting over is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of courage. Sometimes life closes one door so that you can discover another. The problem is that while we're hurting, we usually cannot see that. We only understand it years later. One thing I have learned is that pain is often a teacher in disguise. When everything is going well, we rarely grow. We become comfortable. We stop paying attention. But hardship forces us to grow. It forces us to adapt. It forces us to discover strengths we never knew we had. Some of the wisest people I have ever met were people who had suffered greatly. Not because suffering is good, but because suffering taught them lessons they could not learn any other way. I have seen people lose businesses they spent decades building. I have seen people lose homes. I have seen people lose relationships they thought would last forever. And yet many of those same people found a way to rebuild. Why? Because they refused to believe that one bad chapter meant the story was over. That is something every young person should. Remember, a setback is not the end. A mistake is not the end. A failure is not the end. As long as you keep moving forward, your story is still being written. Another lesson I wish I had learned earlier is that resilience is built one day at a time. People often imagine resilient individuals as fearless heroes. That is not reality. Most resilient people are ordinary people doing ordinary things during extraordinary circumstances. They wake up when they feel exhausted. They keep going when they feel discouraged. They take one more step when they would rather quit. Years ago, when my wife became seriously ill, there were days when I felt completely drained. I worried constantly. I felt afraid. I felt helpless. But every morning, I got up and did what needed to be done, not because I felt strong, because love required it. And over time, I discovered something powerful. Strength often comes after action, not before it. Many people wait until they feel confident before taking the next step. But confidence usually comes from taking the step first. For much of my life, I also wasted energy worrying about things I could not control. I worried about the future. I worried about outcomes. I worried about possibilities that never happened. Looking back, most of those worries accomplished nothing. Life became much easier when I learned the difference between what I could control and what I could not. I could control my attitude. I could control my effort. I could control my character. But I could not control every outcome. Once I accepted that, I found peace. If you spend your life trying to control everything, you will spend your life frustrated. Focus on what you can do today. Leave the rest alone. Another trap that many young people fall into is comparison. I know because I spent years doing it myself. There was always someone richer, someone smarter, someone more successful, someone further ahead. Every time I compared myself to them, I felt like I was falling behind. But comparison is dangerous because you only see what people choose to show you. You do not see their fears. You do not see their struggles. You do not see the nights they spend worrying about their own problems. Every person is carrying something. Remember that your journey is unique. Your timeline is unique. Focus on your own growth. That is where real progress happens. One of the greatest misconceptions about success is that successful people never fail. Nothing could be further from the truth. The most successful people I have known failed repeatedly. The difference is that they treated failure as a lesson instead of a life sentence. I have made mistakes that still make me shake my head when I remember them. Poor decisions, missed opportunities, moments of bad judgment. But every mistake taught me something valuable. And every lesson made me a little wiser. If you fall, get up. If you fail, learn. If you lose, keep moving. The only true failure is giving up on yourself. As I grew older, I also learned that relationships matter more than achievements. When you're young, you chase goals. You chase money. You chase recognition. And there is nothing wrong with ambition. But eventually, you realize that the most meaningful parts of life are people. At 98 years old, I do not spend much time thinking about awards or accomplishments. I think about family dinners, conversations with old friends, moments of laughter, moments of kindness, the people who stood beside me when life became difficult. Those are the memories that matter. Take care of the people you love. Tell them you appreciate them. Spend time with them while you can. Because one day, those simple moments will become your most treasured memories. I have also learned that gratitude is one of the greatest sources of strength. There were seasons in my life when very little seemed to be going right. Yet even then, there was always something to appreciate. A warm meal, a good friend, a place to sleep, a new sunrise. Another opportunity to try again. Gratitude does not eliminate problems, but it changes your perspective. It reminds you that even in difficult times, there is still something worth holding on to. And finally, never stop growing. Never stop learning. Never stop improving. Age does not make people old. Giving up on growth makes people old. Stay curious. Read books. Learn new skills. Ask questions. Challenge yourself. Person who continues to learn remains strong, no matter how many birthdays they celebrate. If there is one final message I want to leave for the next generation, it is this: you are stronger than you think. Life will challenge you. Life will disappoint you. There will be moments when you feel lost, moments when you feel exhausted, moments when you wonder whether you can keep going, but you can. One step at a time, one day at a time. Keep moving forward. Because one day, you will look back on the hardships that once seemed impossible, and you will realize they did not destroy you. They taught you, they shaped you, they prepared you for the person you were meant to become. Life is not about avoiding storms. It is about learning how to walk through them with courage, patience, and hope. And trust me, no matter what challenge stands in front of you today, you have far more strength inside you than you realize.